Hi guys, and welcome back to Strive to Survive. So in this episode, we're actually going to be starting work on the witch farm. We finished off getting this whole area half slabbed, so now it's time to actually start the farm itself. So the first thing we've got to do is start ripping out the stuff that's in this witch farm. But we've got to be careful when we're doing this because witches can spawn in this vicinity. That's why we have it lit up, so as we're ripping it apart, they could be spawning. That's why I'm going to try to do all the work during the day. Now, we want to get 2 spawning pads out of this, and the easiest way to do that is to make one right below the floor level right now. So the witches can spawn currently anywhere that, basically from this block here that I just knocked out, because this axe is really good. So let's switch to our baked potato for demonstration purposes. But anywhere from that block I just knocked out to right, it's actually the best way to see it is the perimeter of this roof is actually where they can spawn. So that's what we're going to do as our first spawning pad, and we're going to do that. We're going to make them out of spruce wood, and we're going to go one level lower than what the floor is right now. So we'll go one there, just all the way around. And the reason we're putting it one level lower is that so that we can go up and have a second level or a second layer of spawning pads here. Well, that's fine, but there we go. So we'll go ahead and start ripping out the rest of this. Now, witches actually can't spawn on this space right here, so we can go ahead and safely rip that out. And we'll go up here, and I'm going to actually just destroy this whole pad, or this whole witch hut, guys. And then what I'll do is basically 2 levels above me, so on this level right there, we'll build another spawning pad. So that way there'll be space enough for them to spawn in between. Witches are actually closer to 3 blocks high, but excuse me, they only require 2 blocks to spawn, so we could safely build this spawning pad there and get away with it. So what I'm going to do, guys, is I'm going to rip this down, and I'll come back and meet up with you once we have the 2 spawning pads in place. So I'll see you in a bit. Alright guys, so we're back, and you can see right now I've built both the spawning pads. I'm just ripping the roof off. So I'm going to do this real quick, and then we'll go to the next step. Now, one thing that we want to make sure of as soon as we get this all cleared off is we want to put up some torches, because we don't want anything spawning up here just yet. And that should be fine for that level. We'll go down a little bit, and you can see this is our other spawning pad. And then I'll take you guys back a little bit. And I cleared out under here. One thing I did notice while I was clearing out under here is that right about here we're going to have some issues. There's already some water down here that we're going to have to fill in, so that might be a little bit of a problem, but we'll deal with it. So, but yeah, this is what it looks like from a distance, and if we want to try it out, what we could do, just to make sure that witches are actually going to spawn here, is just knock out these torches and take a couple steps back here. We'll put this in so it's easy to get back up. Take a couple steps back and see if we don't get some witch spawns. And I'm going to eat a potato while we're at it. Come on. Now, once we're completely done with this, we're going to have to put a cover over this so that it'll spawn witches all the time, and we don't have to wait for it to just be night. Because if there's any light at all, they're not going to really spawn. So but let's see. Can we get at least one to spawn? Wonder if that's still too lit up. It might be a little too lit up with these torches up here. Let's just test that theory. Get rid of them as well. See if that makes a difference. Now that's pretty dark, so hopefully we'll get a spawn. None? Well, this might be embarrassing. This may be the worst witch spawner ever. A zombie that spawned there. But so far, still no witch. But at least we know we're back at the right distance. So, yeah, the zombie actually spawned underneath because I haven't half-slabbed that yet. But yeah, no witches so far. So, it's not looking too good. But we'll give it a little bit longer and see what happens. Alright guys, so it's been quite a while, and you know, I've made some changes because I think I know why the witches weren't spawning. The first thing I've done is I've dropped this spawning pad down by 1, so now there's a 3 gap in here. I don't think that's actually why they weren't spawning, but whatever, now they have more space to spawn, so we've got that. The other thing I did was I went and lit up, as you can see, a lot of the area around us on both sides, just in case that's why they weren't spawning. But I think the main thing is, you know, when I was filling in some of these areas, I left like a gap like this. Well, that's a half slab, so it's kind of a terrible example, but I left like that, like a one wide gap, and didn't bother lighting it up, just to, you know, fill it in quickly. And I think that has come back to bite me. So I've went in and I've lit all those areas up, which took forever, but yeah, it's done now. So now we're waiting for nighttime to see if we can possibly get some spawns out of this. Or if this is just a lost cause, which, I mean, it might be. Who knows? We just, it might not be a very profitable venture. We shouldn't waste a whole ton of time if it's not going to work, which, I mean, we've already done this, but, yeah, I mean, if this doesn't work, we're not going to, you know, build shifting floors here, so we'll see. So I'm going to wait till nighttime. Alright guys, so we are back again. As you can see, night is starting to fall. One thing I did notice is there's a ton of slime spawning around here. So that could definitely be affecting our witch spawns. Basically, only so many mobs can spawn in a designated area at a time. So if there's a ton of slimes or zombies or something else, that's why we half slabbed that other area. It won't allow the witches to actually spawn, so we might have to actually expand this half slabbing a bit. I'm really hoping we don't, because that was already a lot of work. So hopefully the torches and cutting down these trees and killing those slimes did something for us. So I'm gonna head back up and we're gonna see. So we're definitely getting around that time of night that we should be getting some spawns. And you can see I cut down all the trees over there too, so Alright, here we go. Moment of truth. Can we get a witch spawn? We'll see. And we'll eat a potato while we wait. And yeah, I got 13 slime balls just from killing off those slimes that were around there, and a bunch of wood from cutting down all those trees. But come on. Can we get a witch to spawn? I don't think we want to go any closer. I think we want to stay behind this line 24 here, so that's where I'm going to stay. And we'll just cross our fingers and see if one spawns. Alright guys, so it's been a while, but there's a witch. So it definitely, she spawned on the bottom layer and walked off, so that's also a plus. It definitely needs some work still. I think what needs to happen is we need to make it where nothing else can spawn, which is what I tried to do with all these half slabs, but I don't think we're out far enough, because you can see there's a creeper up there, there's skeletons over there, there's slimes around us, so it looks like I have a lot more work to do. And then maybe we can get this witch farm working properly. If this is the only place they can spawn, I'm pretty confident that during the day, if we covered this, it would be a pretty decent spawner. But I want this to be a, all the time type deal. And you can see there's definitely stuff out there still, so I think what needs to happen is I need to go out and light up this area a little bit better, and then we'll try this again and see if we can't get some better spawn rates out of it, because at this point, if that's the only witch I get, one a night, that's not really too good. So, but I mean, the spawning pads do work, so you stay back there. We're not ready for you yet. Tell your friends to, oh, well, I guess you won't be telling them anything. But, yeah, well, at least we got some glowstone. Alright, guys, so looks like I got some torching to do here, so I guess I'll catch up with you guys in a bit. Alright, guys, so I don't know if you can see it very well, but I'm building a giant box around this, and my logic behind this is it'll keep it dark in there all the time. And I haven't finished the box yet, and we've already got, I think I saw 2 witches in there. There's one right there, definitely. You get out of here. I'm trying to demonstrate things. There's definitely one right there. And there's another one right there, so it's definitely working a lot better now. So maybe this is gonna have to be like a night only farm, because we know that if there's any light in here, this isn't gonna work out so well. And if there's areas that they can spawn outside, it doesn't seem to work very well either, despite, I mean, I've lit up a huge area, cut down all those trees, lit all that area up, but they just don't seem to want to spawn in here. So we'll see what happens when I finish off this box. And if you're looking for dimensions, it's basically, I'm not real sure how tall it is. I guess we can count it. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so it's 11 high, and it sticks out 4 from every one of the platforms, and that's just kind of how I'm building it up. I'm probably going to light up these spawning pads a little bit now, just because I don't want them spawning while I'm, working on this. That would not be good if they're, throwing weakness poisons and stuff at me. So let me do that, and then I'm going to probably get some glass for the front of it, and then we'll see how this goes exactly. I can already tell it's better than it was though, because we got 2 spawns in a matter of a couple seconds, whereas before we only got 1 spawn the entire night. So it's all just a game of, you know, seeing what works, seeing what doesn't work. I actually did a lot of testing with this on a test world. Didn't have to do any of this on the test world, so just a heads up. I mean, testing isn't always what actually happens. It's a great idea to test your stuff before you actually try to put it into production, but sometimes that doesn't work out. So, but I'm gonna finish boxing this up, guys, and then I'll catch back up with you once that's done. So, see you in a bit. Alright guys, so we're back, and I know right now this doesn't look the greatest. It's a giant cube with a wall of glass, but in the end I think we can make this look pretty decent. What I want to do though is I want to go in there and knock out all these torches and see if we get some witch spawns, which I think we will. So let's go ahead and head in here, and we'll knock them off the top first. I think that's the easiest, and then head down here to the bottom. Whoops, don't want to stay in here too long just in case they actually do start spawning in mass. And let's see what happens. It's still kind of lit up in there. Probably should have brought that front wall back a little bit, but let's see what happens. Any witches? None yet. Still nothing. Come on, witches. It's pretty dark in there. Well, let's do this too, because this is definitely a source of light right here. But I think a lot of it has to do with all that being glass. But I really want you to be able to see what's going on in here. So that's kind of why I wanted that to be glass. Might be a little bit too bright for them though. Come on, witches. Anyone? You would think there would at least be some spawning in the back there. Because, I mean, admittedly, the front area is a little bit bright. Let's check the light levels in here. So that's 15. This is 13 right now. Back here, definitely we could get spawns. But up towards the front, we probably won't because of this glass. So I might have to bump this wall out a couple notches just to avoid that. But you would think we'd at least get some in the back. So let's just give it a couple seconds and see what happens, guys. Alright guys, so you could definitely see one way in the back there. There's a witch spawned. So it seems to be working. We definitely have a problem with... Oh, hi. Hi there. Oh, okay. Well then, I guess you're going to go back there. But we definitely have a problem with light still getting in here, so... my thought is maybe we can just do something like this. Maybe put like an... those are half slabs. What a pain. Let's just knock one out. Go up here. Thinking maybe we could put like some sort of awning here, I guess. to keep the light out. Let's get up one more level. Only because I want you to be able to see the shifting floors. I don't want to hide all that construction. So I think if we do something like this, well, you might still not be able to see it because of how dark it is in there. So this might be kind of pointless. But also, I think a giant cobblestone box is going to look pretty bad. So let's see if this gives us enough shadow here. And I have feather falling boots, right? Yeah, so this shouldn't hurt that bad. I mean, it's still not ideal. I think maybe we're going to have to bring down the sides here, or bring up the sides, I should say. 1, 2, 3, 4. And same thing on this side. And let me do that, guys, and I'll catch back up with you. I'm sorry that this episode's getting a little bit longer, but I definitely want to get these spawning pads working this episode. That way we can do the shifting floor and the remainder of the project in the upcoming episodes. So I'll catch back up with you in a bit. Alright, guys, so we're back again. And I think my idea for having a giant window here is just not going to work. So it seems like with the 3 though here, we're getting a decent amount of spawns now. You can see there's one in the very, very back there that is probably really hard to see. There's 2 right here, 1 up there. I think that's it for right now. Maybe just 4, but that's definitely a huge improvement. So I think we're ready at this point. Yep, see, you can see it moving right back there. So there's definitely 4 in there right now. So I think we're kind of ready to do the next part of this project. I'm pretty satisfied with the way that the spawning pads are working at this point. They could be better. I wonder if we half slab this area, if that will cut out more light. It actually appears that it does. So what if we half slab that? If we're gonna half slab the whole thing, then I'm just testing a theory here. Yeah, so that does cut out all the light. But then at that point, I mean, you can't see in there anyways. There's no real point to have a window there. So maybe what I'll do is just get rid of the window altogether, or leave it there just because I still think it looks cooler having something like this than having just a big, like, I mean, if we go around to this side, that's boring. That's super boring. And I know farms are kind of more about functionality than anything else, but yeah, I can't. There's got to be some sort of design to it. So yeah, we'll do something like this. I'm sure by the time the next episode comes around and we're ready to do the spawning floors, I'll have changed this again. But yeah, that's it for this episode, guys. We've got the spawning pads sort of in place. The next episode will be focusing on shifting floors and how we're actually going to kill these witches now that we have them spawning. So until then, guys, thanks for watching. Thanks for sticking with me through this blundering witch farm project, but we'll get there. So thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you next time.